You know that feeling, right? You're trying to fix something with a company, maybe a billing error or a product issue,
Yeah.
and you hit that customer service black hole. It feels like your voice just evaporates into the ether, and the frustration, well, it's palpable.
Oh, definitely. We've all been there feeling completely unheard.
But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if businesses could not only hear you, but truly understand you, anticipate your needs, and maybe even turn a frustrating experience into, like, a moment of delight?
That's the goal, isn't it?
Today, we're taking a deep dive into the very heart of how successful businesses achieve this: customer feedback management, or CFM. It's really the engine driving truly exceptional customer experience, CX.
It's astonishing how critical this actually is. You might think, okay, a few unhappy customers, maybe not a huge deal.
Yeah.
But the data paints a stark picture. A staggering 96% of customers will simply walk away after just one unsatisfactory experience.
Wow. 96%.
Think about that for a second. Almost every single one. So why, given that undeniable reality, do so many businesses still struggle to deliver rapid, personalized service? That's the core question CFM aims to answer.
That's a powerful number, all right, and it really spotlights the problem. So if that's the danger, what's the strategic antidote?
Well, CFM is precisely that. It's the systematic approach businesses use to not just collect customer feelings, complaints, and brilliant insights, but to truly leverage them.
Right, leverage.
It's about identifying those weak spots, allocating resources where they'll make the most impact, and sparking genuine, positive change that keeps customers coming back.
So our mission today is to pull back the curtain on CFM. We'll explore exactly what it is, why it's not just important, but absolutely vital for survival and growth in, well, any market, and how it really works on the ground. We'll even unpack some truly inspiring real-world examples showing how businesses are transforming negative feedback into powerful engagement and innovation.
Yeah, we'll break down the essential customer feedback loop, dissect the different kinds of feedback you can expect to encounter,
Okay.
pinpoint the specific channels businesses use to gather this crucial input, and, critically, share the best practices for making it all sing.
Let's get started then. So when we talk about customer feedback management, what exactly are we defining here?
At its essence, CFM is a proactive, organized process. It's for gathering data about customer experiences, their needs, and their brilliant suggestions across all interaction points.
All of them.
Think of it less as just a survey, maybe, and more as a continuous dynamic conversation. It's designed to use direct customer input to steer the entire ship, guiding operations and constantly refining the customer experience.
And this isn't just a tactic, is it? It sounds like a fundamental shift.
It really is. The very core of CFM is adopting a truly customer-centric business approach. It's a mindset where every strategic decision, every product iteration, every service improvement, it's all directly informed by feedback.
All with one goal, presumably.
All with one goal: to create genuinely delightful experiences that resonate with your customers.
And it all cycles through what we call the customer feedback loop. I understand it's a powerful four-step process. First, you ask.
Right, ask.
This means actively soliciting input about your products or services, maybe through, like, a brief survey right after a purchase.
Exactly. Then, once you have that input, you categorize it. This is where you group similar feedback points into relevant themes.
Why is that so important?
Well, it's crucial because it allows you to see patterns, not just, individual complaints or comments.
Okay, that makes sense. See the bigger picture. So ask, categorize. What's next?
After categorization, you act. This isn't just about acknowledging receipt. It's about sharing that feedback with the right departments, maybe engineering, sales, marketing, customer service.
But people who can actually do something.
Precisely, so they can develop real solutions and make tangible improvements. And the final, often overlooked step is to follow up.
Ah, closing the loop.
Exactly. This means circling back with the customers who provided the feedback, letting them know what you did, and evaluating if your changes were actually effective. It builds trust and shows their voice genuinely led to action.
And I imagine technology plays a big role here.
Oh, hugely.
Yeah.
Importantly, specialized software and tools are integrated into each of these stages, automating the collection, management, analysis, and execution. It makes it possible to act on a scale that just wasn't feasible before.
Okay. So when we open the floodgates for customer input, what kinds of feedback are we actually talking about? Are there different categories?
Yeah, we typically differentiate between a couple of main streams. First, there's direct feedback.
Okay, direct. Sounds straightforward.
It is. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yep.
Explicitly requested from customers. This includes everything from those post-purchase surveys we mentioned to direct requests for product reviews or even structured interviews.
Got it. And the other stream.
Then you have indirect feedback.
Yeah.
This is the unsolicited input, the customer simply offering their thoughts without being prompted.
Ah, like on social media.
Exactly. Think social media posts, comments left on a forum or a blog, or even the underlying reasons behind, say, a product return.
Interesting. Are there other types beyond those two?
Yeah, beyond these, we also consider direct customer requests, technical issues, or error reports that people submit, maybe requests for usage instructions, and of course, complaints. They're all valuable pieces of the puzzle.
This raises an interesting point, though. What's the crucial distinction between general feedback and a specific complaint? It might seem like semantics.
But it's important.
But understanding the difference is key to how you respond, right?
Absolutely. The main differentiator really comes down to the timing and the method of acquisition, you could say. Complaints almost always arrive after a customer has had an experience, often with a negative tone, expressing dissatisfaction.
So they're reactive, usually negative.
Generally, yeah. Complaints are usually rooted in a very specific negative experience. Maybe a product malfunction, a perceived lack of empathy from a staff member, or perhaps a slow or inadequate response to a previous request for help.
Okay. And feedback.
Feedback, on the other hand, can be proactively offered before, during, or after usage. And crucially, it can be positive, negative, or neutral.
So much broader.
Much broader. It might be praise, a suggestion for a new feature, or just a general comment on service performance. What's often overlooked is that angry customers are, well, they can be your most vocal teachers.
How so?
Those with negative experiences are actually twice as likely to share their views compared to satisfied customers.
Twice as likely. And that's where it gets really interesting, I think. While it sounds terrifying to invite negativity, some forward-thinking companies are actually starting to actively encourage complaints.
That's right.
They see them not as failures to be hidden, but as the purest form of unfiltered, actionable insight. It's kind of the ultimate tough love for your business, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Because the real danger lies in complaints that go unnoticed or maybe are deprioritized.
What happens?
This leads to painfully slow problem resolution, customer churn, people leaving, and ultimately lost revenue. CFM is designed to not only reduce the occurrence of complaints, but when they do happen, ensure they're handled swiftly and effectively.
So it's about mitigation and opportunity.
Exactly. This mitigates immediate brand damage and, more strategically, transforms that negative input into opportunities for new solutions and innovation.
Okay, so we've talked about the mechanics of CFM, the what and how. But for any business leader listening, the question is always, what's the payoff? Let's dive into the quantifiable impact.
The ROI, yeah.
First, CFM directly helps reduce customer attrition or churn, and by extension, dramatically increases revenue. Here's a stat that always surprises me, even though it's fairly common knowledge. Acquiring new customers costs anywhere from 5 to 25 times more than retaining existing ones.
It's a huge multiple.
Given that, why do so many businesses still disproportionately funnel resources into acquisition over retention? It seems counterintuitive.
That's a fantastic question, and it really highlights the hidden friction points in many organizations. The ROI on retention is just immense.
How immense?
Simply increasing customer retention by just 5% can boost profits by an incredible 25% to 95%.
25 to 95% just from a 5% retention boost.
That's what the studies show. And beyond the pure numbers, CFM is also essential for simply showing your customers you care.
The perception matters.
Hugely. A staggering 68% of customers disengage from companies they believe don't care about their satisfaction. CFM isn't just a process, it's a visible demonstration of commitment.
And thinking beyond just keeping customers, the valuable insights from CFM directly fuel improved products and services, right?
Absolutely. You're building offerings that are not just better, but truly satisfy your customers, which gives you a formidable competitive edge and directly boosts revenue.
So it's a virtuous cycle. Better products, happier customers, more revenue.
Precisely. And what's truly transformative about CFM is that it doesn't just aim for satisfaction. It actively transforms negative experiences into powerful positive engagement opportunities.
How does that work, turning a negative into a positive?
Consider this. 95% of people are willing to repurchase from a company even after a bad experience.
Really? 95%.
Provided their complaint was resolved quickly and effectively, that's a testament to the power of a genuine apology and, a swift resolution.
Absolutely. That follow-through is key. So CFM isn't just about damage control.
Not at all. It helps forge stronger brand-customer relationships and allows you to clearly identify your core customer segments who really loves your stuff.
And all of this cascades into increased loyalty, I assume.
Definitely. Even after negative experiences, over 83% of customers remain loyal to brands that simply provide a response or resolve their complaints. It's about building and rebuilding trust brick by brick.
Okay, so we've established the why, the ROI, the relationship building, and the what. Now, let's explore where all this valuable input actually comes from. What are the channels?
Businesses across all sectors use a really diverse array of channels to solicit feedback. Common methods include focus groups, customer interviews, surveys,
The usual suspects.
yeah, third-party reviews, social media, email, and live chat. Lots of options.
Are some channels better than others?
Well, while all these channels are useful, it's fascinating how different channels yield different depths of insight. Focus groups and customer interviews, for example, are particularly valuable for collecting rich, qualitative data.
The why.
Exactly the why behind the what. These are about understanding stories and motivations.
Right. And what about automated tools? They seem pretty common now.
Yeah, they are. In-app surveys can provide deep insights from specific interactions, literally right when the customer is using your product or service.
Very timely.
And then there's the Net Promoter Score, or NPS. You're likely familiar with it.
That how likely are you to recommend question.
That's the one. It's typically derived from that single would recommend question on a 0-10 scale. Customers get categorized as promoters, passives, or detractors,
Right.
giving businesses a quick snapshot of overall customer sentiment and brand loyalty.
It's a popular metric, but is it the whole story?
That's a good point. And while it's powerful for benchmarking, it's worth noting some critics argue NPS can be too simplistic on its own. The real power comes when you use NPS to identify a trend and then dig into the why using qualitative feedback.
Combining the what and the why.
Exactly. And CFM software is crucial here because it's not just about collecting data, it's about connecting the dots. Imagine a system that links a customer's low NPS score to their support ticket history and maybe their product usage,
A full picture.
giving you a 360-degree view. That's where tools truly shine, intelligently correlating feedback across multiple touchpoints.
Makes sense. What about more direct, private channels?
Yeah, for more private and immediate interactions, live chat, text, and email are incredibly popular. With the rise of digital customer service, customers really demand rapid, efficient communication.
Speed matters.
It does. Automated responses, coupled with personalized messages, can really boost engagement and ensure you're collecting comprehensive data in real time.
And then there's the public square.
And then you have the public forums, third-party review sites, and social media. These truly serve as community spaces where customers openly share their experiences, both good and bad.
And the expectations are high there, right?
They really are. A crucial expectation here is speed. Almost 51.7% of consumers expect a business to respond to complaints on these platforms within 7 days.
Within a week. That's quite fast for some businesses.
It is. So proactive engagement across all these platforms is absolutely essential to meeting those evolving customer expectations.
Okay. So armed with all this information, understand the channels, the types, the why, how do you make CFM truly effective? Let's talk best practices.
At the practical side.
The first, and perhaps most overlooked, is to identify your goals. Clarity seems paramount here.
Absolutely. Before you collect any feedback, you need to clearly define your objectives. If your surveys are vague or you're just, collecting random data,
You get noise.
you get unstructured information that's incredibly difficult to act on.
So how does a good CFM program help here?
Well, a well-designed CFM program helps you pinpoint patterns in things like recurring product defects, consistent customer service issues, or maybe unmet expectations that you might not even be aware of.
Finding the hidden problems.
Exactly. This data then empowers your customer experience teams to develop precise, targeted plans for addressing issues related to delivery, product usage, reception, the whole life cycle.
So the advice is always aim for targeted feedback.
Yes, whether it's on the overall customer journey, specific interactions, or particular products. And importantly, only ask when it's genuinely necessary and contributes to your defined goal. Don't just ask for the sake of asking.
Got it. Our second best practice is to collect feedback using multiple channels. You mentioned the diversity earlier.
Yeah, there's simply no one-size-fits-all approach here. Relying on just one type of feedback or a single channel isn't going to give you the comprehensive picture you need.
So mix and match.
Exactly. By combining methods, for instance, structured in-app surveys for quick quantitative data, maybe, with in-depth customer interviews for rich qualitative insights, you get a much more robust understanding.
Use the right tool for the job.
Precisely. Tailoring channels to specific data types is far more effective than trying to force one channel to meet all your objectives. And remember, customers today expect consistent interactions across every channel.
Omni-channel.
Which is absolutely crucial for successful online businesses.
Third best practice, and this is where the raw data starts to become intelligent information. You need to categorize feedback.
Yes. Once you've collected it, it's vital to organize it into relevant categories and themes. Grouping feedback allows you to start analyzing patterns and making sense of the sheer volume of information.
Can you clarify the difference between analyzing qualitative and quantitative data here? You mentioned both earlier.
Sure. So, qualitative data gives you the stories, the why behind the ratings, maybe discovered through interviews or open-ended comments. Quantitative data gives you the numbers, the what and how much, like star ratings or survey scores.
Different kinds of insight.
Right. And while you analyze them differently, the magic really happens when you use the what the numbers to pinpoint a trend and then dig into the why the stories to understand the human element behind it.
So they work together.
Exactly. You don't mix them in analysis per se, but you definitely use them together for a complete picture. The goal is really to systemize your feedback so you can actually extract actionable insights.
Which brings us neatly to the fourth best practice. You absolutely must act on customer feedback. This might sound obvious.
You'd think so.
But feedback is genuinely useless if you don't act upon it. Right?
Totally. Not only does inaction waste your time and money, but it makes your customers seriously question your commitment to their satisfaction. They feel ignored.
So how do you prioritize? You might get tons of feedback.
That's the challenge. You need to prioritize the most critical issues impacting user experience and business operations. Look for opportunities for quick wins, small changes that can alleviate immediate problems, and show responsiveness.
But what about tricky situations? Like, what happens when feedback is contradictory or when implementing a requested change is just prohibitively expensive? How do leaders make those tough calls?
That's where leadership really comes in. It requires a blend of analyzing the data, having strategic vision, and importantly, a willingness to communicate transparently with customers. Even when you can't act on every single piece of input, explaining why can make a difference.
So communication is key even when the answer is no or not now.
Absolutely. Rapid and effective responses truly show customers that you're taking their concerns seriously and that their feedback has a real impact, even if it's just leading to a clear explanation rather than an immediate change.
Okay. Our fifth and final best practice is to monitor progress and follow up regularly. This sounds like it's never really done.
It isn't. CFM is never a one-time task. It's an ongoing, iterative process. And when executed well, it can actually spark major business transformations, not just minor tweaks.
Iterative and transformative. So what does the follow-up look like?
Well, after implementing changes based on feedback, it's crucial to monitor customer reactions to those changes and, whenever possible, follow up with them directly.
Personal touch.
A personalized response, even automated sometimes, but personalized, shows your commitment to the CFM process and actually encourages even more feedback down the line. It shows you're listening.
And you need to be flexible.
Totally. You also need to be prepared to adjust or even redefine your CFM objectives based on how customers respond to your changes. This openness to continuous feedback isn't just about problem solving. It maintains a vital cycle of innovation and operational efficiency.
Let's look at some real-world examples of CFM in action. How are companies truly getting this right? First up, Uber.
Ah, yes. They've woven feedback into the fabric of every single ride.
How does that work exactly?
After each trip, users instantly get an in-app survey, allowing them to rate their driver from 1 to 5 stars, often with predefined categories like cleanliness or navigation. You could even give specific compliments for excellent service.
Simple, immediate. What's the impact?
This simple, immediate mechanism is incredibly powerful. It helps Uber quickly identify any driver issues, address them, and maintain consistent service standards, which, in turn, minimizes negative user experiences for passengers. It's basically a real-time quality control system.
Makes sense. Then there's Zappos. They're almost legendary for customer service.
Absolutely. Their approach isn't just about reacting. It's about being incredibly accessible. They offer 24/7 contact via phone, chat, and text,
Always available.
making it almost effortless for customers to reach out whenever an issue arises, day or night.
So how does that accessibility translate into good CFM?
By having such diverse and accessible communication channels, Zappos can proactively resolve issues before they escalate into serious complaints or, public outcry.
Getting ahead of the problem.
Exactly. This proactive approach differentiates them sharply from competitors by providing a truly seamless feedback experience. And their commitment to things like free shipping and those famous 365-day returns.
Yes, huge.
It isn't just a marketing gimmick. It clearly demonstrates their willingness to adapt their entire business model based on customer feedback, building a fiercely loyal following, even in a highly competitive market like shoes and apparel.
It shows they listen with their policies, not just their ears. And who could forget Apple? They consistently rank right at the top for customer satisfaction.
Yeah, they do. And a huge part of that success lies in their unwavering dedication to exploring and actively utilizing customer feedback.
How do they gather it?
After pretty much every purchase, Apple sends highly targeted post-purchase email surveys. And they employ Net Promoter Score, that would you recommend as question again, to meticulously assess satisfaction with their products and the overall experience, whether it was in-store or online.
And they actually use those scores.
Oh, absolutely. They then use these scores not just as some kind of vanity metric to feel good about, but to directly inform the refinement of product features, ensuring they meet broader consumer needs.
So feedback drives innovation there.
It really does.
Yeah.
This feedback loop is a core driver of their innovation, which in turn boosts sales and significantly strengthens brand loyalty. It's a continuous cycle. Listen, iterate, deliver better experiences, listen again.
So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener, and perhaps your business? It sounds like customer feedback management is not just another fleeting trend.
Not at all. It is a fundamental, truly non-negotiable part of modern business operations. It doesn't just impact customer experience.
It's deeper than that.
It's about building enduring relationships, driving continuous innovation, and securing sustainable growth in what's often a very crowded marketplace.
So the message is, listen.
By truly listening to your customers, not just hearing them, but acting on their feedback in a meaningful way, you're not merely solving media problems. You're continuously building deep trust and fostering unwavering loyalty.
You're almost making them partners.
In a way, yes. It's about empowering your customers to help shape your business for the better, transforming them from passive consumers into active co-creators.
Okay, let's leave our listeners with a final thought. Consider this. In an age of just overwhelming information, maybe the most valuable data isn't just about what customers do, but why they do it, and crucially, how they feel. How might actively seeking and truly understanding that deeper, often emotional layer of feedback transform not just your immediate business challenges, but perhaps your entire industry?
That's a powerful question. It's about reframing. Seeing complaints not as painful problems to be avoided, but as direct, invaluable invitations for radical innovation and ultimately profoundly deeper connection with the people you serve.